Hello and welcome to MCFC 9320 PUBcast. No intro, no fuss tonight. We're just straight on because we're on like a little shitty free trial, aren't we, Paddy?
We are.
Yeah.
Because somebody didn't do their homework during the week.
I know. Well, I'm I will take the blame for that. I cannot lie. It is my fault. So yeah, let's see how this thing rolls. In our little, look at that, up at the top as well. Whoop, the other end, powered by StreamYard. And anyway, let's get into it. Good to see some of the good old faces in good young faces in the chat as well. So how are you, mate? We've had a pretty long absence, haven't we?
We have, but that was unavoidable and life.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to have you back in your feet.
Yeah, so for anybody who's there, just without going into too detail, I don't want all the, I hope you're all right, Andy. It's live. I contracted Legionnaire's disease when I was away and almost died on the 27th of January. But I'm back fighting. I'm back fighting for this title. They've got to go to Middlesbrough yet. Good evening, Governor. Good evening, DC. Mingy Wong, DC, Jesse, Jack's on there as well. Welcome. Let's see how we go. So, Paddy, I think we're going to have to work backwards a little bit, aren't we? Because we missed quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And as an FYI to people as well, if the stream suddenly goes, I don't know what restrictions are on this little freebie tonight. So we will see. Yesterday. We've got to start with yesterday, mate, haven't we? I thought it was an expected starting lineup. I don't think they covered themselves in glory a little bit, for one reason or another. Do you?
Well, I suppose everybody just thought it was going to be another Exeter, I suppose, and then when that didn't happen, people were disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do?
Not a lot, mate. I thought it was a great opportunity for somebody, and I actually tweeted pretty much the same before the match started yesterday on the lines of, it's a great opportunity for to get some of the rust off some of the bit part players with a bit of youth and experience. And I actually I think the game will be dictated to the latter stages of the game when the experience and first teamers come off the bench. And that's exactly how it panned out. Not that I proclaim to be a guru. That's where I just seen it panning out, mate.
Well, listening to Pep afterwards, watching his after-match press conference, he wasn't happy. Mm-hmm. He wasn't the first cousin of happy because it was pedestrian at stages, but like, what are you supposed to do when you're facing 10 men behind the ball? Like, what things?
Mm-hmm.
There was very little space, and people think, well, just because they're a lower league club that you're just going to steamroll them. Yeah, you'll steamroll them if they come out and they fight against you, but when they're sitting back, you could do that against the EDS and they'd struggle.
I thought they had some good opportunities. I thought James Trafford did very, very well in a couple of instances. And again, we all moan about VAR, mate. And I will die on this hill hating VAR. Do you think the way it went yesterday, especially what we've been seeing, especially the offside goal, Marmoush offside goal, it was yards onside. Do you think the officials without VAR are a little bit stuffed at the minute?
Well, you see, it's a classic case of use it or lose it. When you have the safety net of VAR in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we went back to, say, 1990s football yesterday where there was kind of decisions made and everyone's like, what we used to talk during the pub afterwards, he missed this and he missed that and he didn't get this right, he didn't get that. That's kind of becomes sterile under VAR because VAR gets most of it right. Let's be honest. Like I know you can argue against VAR. So like, yes, my Moose had a great goal chalked off, and I can say that.
I know
I can say it now.
I can't even get my moose. That sounds wrong. That I can't get my moose up because we're on a different sort of like platform-ish. Oh. But generally, and I agree with Stevie there. A win is a win. Getting just getting into that hat. I get that. I just wanted a bit more from the people who started the game. Really, I was expecting a little bit more.
Like from who, for instance?
I'm going to have to put my hand up here and say, I didn't think Marmoush could play with Haaland. I've changed my mind on that. I think he's intelligent enough, and so's Haaland, as Haaland and Semenyo. But with yesterday, it was like, ain't Nora. It just reminds me of Danny Tiatto. The more and more I see him, just like his head down, and he's just like. I think, and I'll be critical, I think Ryan Cherky is an unbelievable player and he's got a massive, massive future. I think he's not just yesterday. I think his passing is not the best, and I don't mean his long range passing. I mean his short passing. That needs to be looked. And we all cry out for Ryan Cherky to be starting games, but there's an argument against it where you think Pep's not starting him because
for a reason.
Because his short passing isn't great. Now I've seen, and again, I'm just going to go off some of the things what I've seen on our friend X, like slaughtering Foden, slaughtering Reinders. And there's a difference between slaughtering players and critiquing them. Now, they're somewhat going very, very overboard on stuff because these players, if they was regulars, like. The hate, the absolute hate on Reinders, what I'm seeing. I think Reinders has been absolutely brilliant. Not brilliant for us. I think he's at a level what's more than acceptable. But again, you can see why he's not starting.
See, I would disagree with that. I would wholeheartedly disagree with that because like obviously I've been to a lot of games this season and last season. And where I sit most of the time, I try and get under the stand up high so I can see the whole pitch. The amount of, and Haaland used to do it, he doesn't do it anymore. The amount of runs that Semenyo and Reinders do, and the ball doesn't come. Like, he doesn't, like.
By the way, what a goal by Marmoush, regardless whether it was, and Nick's right, that the Villa Newcastle was a mess as well. You know, clearly in the foul, the handball clearly inside in the penalty area, and the ref.
There you go. Like that's like for having VAR rather than not having the VAR. But I'll tell you, and I formed it after, and this is going to go down like a bag of shite, I know, but I know here we go.
Sounded like Fabrizio Romano. Then here we go.
Cherky overplays the ball continuously. He doesn't pass when he should pass, and then he gets found out. I know a lot of our players have a tendency to do that, but he's very, very guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's here comes the bombshell.
No, you're allowed your opinion, mate. So and again, I'm being a little bit. Are we being too critical of him, or is it?
No,
is it justified?
I'm not saying he overplays it, but that'll through experience that'll come. He does have it, you know. But for me, right at the moment, I think Mamouche and Semenyo are a better pairing up the front than Haaland.
No, I've to be fair, mate, I've seen that as well. It depends how we're playing. There's more mobility. I'll give you that.
It's more fluid, it's faster.
But how about and here's the key ingredient on it. where are they receiving the ball? They're receiving the ball by running onto it. Why don't we put them balls in for Haaland to run onto it?
I think, and again, this is just sample size of one, my own personal opinion. Up front, I think Haaland is a hell of a lot more static than Semenyo and Mamouche. He's waiting for the ball to come to him, where they actually, you could find them anywhere in the top third of that pitch. You'll always find Haaland. It's easy, mark Haaland, because you know where he's going to be. But then on the other hand, then you see, look, like you can turn around and say, well, he scored, 41 goals in 40 games or something like that. But I'm just saying, from a point of mobility and agility up the front and more fluid, Mamouche and Semenyo are a better pairing.
Is Semenyo better on the left, right, or down, or playing? Because since he's been playing closer to Haaland, as in not left or right, but more closer to Haaland, I think we're seeing more from Haaland now. Listen, people would be crazy if the way they're getting on Haaland's back. Because, and I'll say it again, without Haaland's goals this season, we would be 13th in the Premier League.
Oh, absolutely. But like what? But like that's like you like all them players. Like they're just, I don't know what you could, tools, I suppose. And Pep is the craftsman, so it's up to him to use the tools properly, or to get them to use properly. Like Haaland used to make them runs at the start, and he stopped making them because he knows the ball's not coming. And it is frustrating for him. You can see it now. I mean, like the ball's going side to side and it's not coming over the top. Sometimes Haaland is half the pitch they run into and nobody passes the ball over the top. It's
but answer me question. You'd make a really good politician.
What was the question again?
Why are we playing the balls for Semenyo and Marmouche to run onto when we've stopped playing the ball for Haaland to run onto? We're lumping the ball up for Haaland. He's not going to do. Yeah, he's a big lad, and to be fair, his all-round game has been a lot better this season. You know, that's part of him because he's still only young. He's still developing. Not criticizing him in any way, shape, or form, because I don't think I'll ever criticize Haaland because of what he brings, his absolute quality. But what I'm saying is, why is it fair to lump the ball up to Haaland, expecting him to score 1 million goals, instead of we've seen him when he runs onto balls, and we saw it against Liverpool as well. I do want to talk a little bit about Liverpool. I know it was so last year kind of thing, but I thought our performance was very good. But even when Cherky against Liverpool put that, only for Mr. Slobby pulling him back, Haaland would have just gone boom. That is that wasn't running onto the ball. So why we're not doing it for him? Answer me question.
Well, Haaland says that himself after that game, after the Liverpool game. Why didn't he pass to me? He took the shot on himself. Why didn't he pass to me? And that's a question for Turkey, and it's a question for Pep. Why didn't you pass to the forward? Why did you go for goal yourself and make it like it could have made a hames of it? But obviously, Haaland had the speed to get there, and your man pulled him back. That was farcical. Like, in fairness, that really was. But anyway, But for Haaland to come off the pitch and say Cherky should have passed to me tells you all you need to know. Why are he not passing to him? Like,
I genuinely think Cherky is going to be a sensation. I really, really do. But at the minute, and again, it's fair to critique players, but there's a difference between critiquing them and going overboard with what I see. I know you'll say, "Oh, why are you following these idiots? Have a three rule," but you see them in your timeline. Regardless, you see them in your timeline. I see Haaland getting absolutely slaughtered, right? For whatever reason, no. Because Cherky is the new messiah, if you like, people are not seeing Cherky can't pass 2 yards for shit. I'm not criticizing. What I'm saying is he needs to make better choices, because if he makes better choices, that's going to enable Haaland to run onto balls. Not just Haaland, Marmouche to run onto balls. Semenyo, or whoever we've got in them positions, even Reinders, because Reinders likes to push forward. So if we get better choices from Cherky, naturally, because everyone's saying is a De Bruyne replacement.
No.
It's got to start passing. It's got to start passing. No doubt about it. It can be an absolute. Sometimes it can be a world beater and a panel beater in the same game.
Yeah,
We just need.
There's nobody in this planet that Kevin De Bruyne. I was actually sitting a chipper against across the road from the ground in the Wednesday night against Fulham, and it was showing the goals on the TV in there.
Yeah.
You only see the balls De Bruyne was playing. Merciful Jesus. He played a ball for Sani. I forget now who it was against. Oh my jeez, it was like a fucking laser guided missile. There's nobody in the world could do that what Kevin De Bruyne does.
No, and there's not, and it's like comparing apples to aniseed balls, isn't it? It's just
like if you think about Cherky, right? Cherky is a David Silva type player, but he doesn't at the moment, and I want to clarify at the moment, he doesn't have the football intelligence or the football nonce of when to release the ball and when to hold on like David Silva did.
That's exactly what I was trying to draw out here, because although he's got the potential to go as far as he wants in the game, he genuinely has. He's got, I think all the time he's looking for that worldy rather than a simple pass. Now he's struggling with simple
what did Pep say after he did that Rabona crack?
But I wouldn't take that out of Cherky, mate. Now, people might have thought different if Foden wouldn't have got on the end of that. People might have gone, and they'd have gone, and I think whoever it was against, and they'd have gone up the other end and scored a goal against us. People would have seen it different. I want people to, as daft as it sounds, lay off Cherky, but also see he's not the real deal, what people think he is at this moment in time. He's got the potential to be whatever he wants to be. He really, really has.
Do you know what Cherky's biggest problem is? Himself. Do you know why? Because when you listen to him and you listen to what he wants to achieve and what he wants to do on the football pitch, he thinks when he crosses that white line that he has a job to do to entertain the fans in that ground and get them off the seats and do this. Cut back a little bit in that. Do the simple stuff first, and then the other stuff then will come naturally. If anything, Cherky is trying too hard, hence why he holds on to the ball too long and he tries to do too fancy little flicks and kicks, and that's all right when you're 2-3-0 up, but it's not all right.
Honestly, mate, I could not agree with you more. Now, what would entertain the fans, instead of Cherky doing it, pass that ball, do that unbelievable KDB-esque ball or a David Silva ball into the likes of Haaland to run onto, and you will get the same appreciation from the fans, whether you're doing a Rabona, whether you're doing a perfect pass through, because he's there to assist. He's there. He's not got a. He don't have to entertain the fans. You know, it's not an obligation.
He has it in here that he must, and he has to get rid of that.
Needs knocking out of his head. Then he's there to be effective. He's there to be constructive and effective with the stuff what he does. Now, if he did the simpler things better, then you would see his development all of a sudden go a lot better, because you see him at times as well. I don't want to dwell too much on Cherky. It's like we're picking. I'm not picking on him. I'm a huge fan of Cherky. I just want to see a little bit more of him as a team player rather than an individual, because. And again, it's no coincidence why he's not starting consistently for us, because when the ball comes, he almost tries to shoot when somebody's half a yard in front of him. It's very rarely going to come off. But yeah, so and again, we've got talking about Cherky because we was talking about yesterday's game, and you asked what disappointed me a little bit. That was one of the little things what did disappoint me. But overall, the big guns, when they come on straight away, we just looked so comfortable. It was good to see Johnny Stones back. What I would, if it is, he's like
England must be playing shortly, aren't they?
Yeah, and that is the adage at the no, it is. That's the adage at the minute. Now, I think John Stones will go at the end of the season.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
However, I won't be against him staying, but if he stayed and I was Pep or whatever manager comes in, if Pep's going, I'll be saying, happy for you to sign a new short-term contract. However, you've got to give international football up. Because John Stones, at the time in his career now, he should be thinking, I need to start playing more club football rather than just international football. Because, yeah, he's passionate. You know, he's a passionate Englishman. Don't give a shit. At the end of the day, it's Manchester City Football Club what are paying his wages. So I wouldn't be adverse to him staying because I still think he's got a lot to offer, but he's got to cut the international stuff out.
But do you not think we're going to have too many at the back if he stays?
Don't know. That's
like if you say, I'm not being smart now, and I'm not being disrespectful to John Stones, because John Stones, what he did to us and what he helped us achieve was unbelievable. But like when you think of the Man City team and you say to somebody, name 4 defenders, John Stones is not your first 4. He doesn't come to your mind. Like he's obviously in the squad, but
because he's injured all the time. You don't expect him to be in the squad, do you? Because psychologically, it's because he's always injured. You're not expecting him to play. So yesterday when he started, I was like, I wasn't even looking on the pitch for John Stones or anything like that. It's just now and again, because I watched it on TV, you just see him going up to the halfway line, just watching, trying to build up play, and I'm thinking, Jesus, John Stones is back, and that's a shame considering the contribution he's done for us.
I think that team, Andy, right? No matter what they achieve or what they don't achieve this year, and again, this is my own personal opinion, they are so far ahead in terms of development. I think it's next year when we will crucify all before us next year. I think that team hasn't really gelled yet. They're still, they're winning matches and they're doing this and they're doing that. But as a solid, I know what you're doing. You know what I'm doing. This is what we are doing together. It's not there yet. And you can see that, hence why there's fall-offs in the second half and stuff like that, because it's hard to keep it going over the 90 minutes. But see, next season, I don't think anyone's going to live with us next season.
No, I think Nick's talking about Cherky there. Yeah, 9 goals, 9 assists. And he is still settling. That's my point. And I think you sort of like said it. I want him to be a little bit more unselfish and play, because he'd still get the plaudits by putting that killer pass in for Semenyo, Haaland, Marmoush, whoever's playing up front to do that.
That's what I mean. Like in terms of next year, Cherky will have that boom, 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 boom.
And let's not forget, they always say you need 12 months to fit in under Pep. And and we're actually seeing that, aren't we? Because Semenyo has been very, very good for us at scoring goals. I think it's only the past couple of games he started giving a bit more oomph, if you like, because he's going to be an unbelievable player for us. He's always looking at that diagonal ball rather than down there. So I think it was a governor or somebody who said before his best position's on the left. I'm not so sure. I think he could play right down the middle as well, Semenyo. So now all of a sudden we're getting a little bit less pressure on Haaland, because early on in the season, and we said it on the shows early on in the season, mate, didn't we? We said that we need to find more goals, because at that time when we spoke about it, there was just Haaland who was scoring the goals. Something like that. We need a different sort of like scenario here where other players are chipping in, and all of a sudden we're getting other players chipping in, and Haaland's not scoring, and Haaland's getting shit for not scoring. Well, hang on. If Haaland's not scoring, other players are scoring. What we're saying, we need other people to score and spread them goals about. Yeah. So
some people need to look up the definition of a team.
And that's it for it. Listen, for every David Silva, you need a Fernandinho. It's as simple as that. You know, and I see crazy things online as well as like that. And it's mainly these little prick content creators, don't mean us, who ask questions like, how many world-class players have we got? I couldn't give a shiny shit. I couldn't give a shiny shit if we've got none, because you need a workhorse for everybody, for everyone who's got the ability for a De Bruyne or a a David Silva, etc. There's too much mentality on how many who are legends, listen. I always say now, if my lad brought me tea in now, I'd call him a legend. The word legend is too loosely mentioned these days.
Yeah, okay. You want 11 superstars, world class superstars? Have a look at Real Madrid. How are they getting on?
And that's it. It's when the Galacticos. I don't think they won anything with the Galacticos. Cathay, hello, Cathay. Look forward to seeing Cover back. Hopefully, I read something from the Croatian national coach. They reckon that he's going to be back for the World Cup. So I don't think he's necessarily going to be back for us. And again, I think Cover's going to be one what
goes.
What goes. And I like Kovacic. You know, he's a very, very talented, intelligent footballer. But I think Pep alluded to it early on in the season when he was on about the likes of John Stones and the ones who were injured all the time. I think Ake, like that, brilliant players, but they've got to be playing to be brilliant.
That team's going to look very different next season, Andy.
Well, how can you see it? Because I don't think we need much tinkering in the summer. I really, really don't.
Well, I think, in terms of outgoings, I think John Stones is going to go.
Stevie says Covington training. That I hope so, Stevie. Again, because I think he could have a say in. But how many games to go? 12 Premier League games to go. No, is he going to have that much of a effect? I agree with you. Sorry, mate. Go on.
I think John Stones will go. I think Aki will go, because don't forget you have Ale, who's after being brought back. You have Hayes, who's out on loan at Girona. He's coming back. You have Husanov, and Sky Sports are calling him Casino, which drives me fucking dada. They can't say his name properly. Casano. Who's Castano? It's Husanov.
You should have heard on who was it? Who was the calling yesterday? It was on BN Sports. I was watching it on, and he was calling which player now? It sounded like Macarena every time.
McAdoo.
Yeah, he's like
Mikado.
Yeah, I kept getting up off the sofa wanting to do the fucking Macarena, but I don't know it.
So you've John Stones will go. Aki's going to go because of what we have in defence now. Because Guardiola will be back, Hayes will be back. Kusanov is a beast. Kusanov is a beast of a player. I love Kusanov. He's a nut. He's a nut job. He doesn't smile. I know he can be a bit reckless, but we'll get over that. But I think them two will go. Bernie Silva is unfortunately going to go.
What about Silva, you know?
Yeah, he says I think he's told the club already where he wants to go. He wants to go back to him with Benfica, is it?
Do you want to know what my heart tells me? After this season, Pep's got one more season. I think he might sign a 1-year contract.
I hope he does.
Because not enough respect is being put on Bernardo Silva, right? Because, and I've said it many times on this show and wherever. Last season, Bernardo Silva wasn't the attacking, flamboyant Bernardo Silva what we used to seeing. What he did, he filled in every single position. He was a massive team player last season, and this shades of that this season. Although he's started to go more offensive again now, but he fills in every position. He leads by example. He's about 2'4" in high heels. Not that I've ever seen him in high heels, but I'm sure he puts himself about like he's an absolute beast. Teams don't. It reminds me a little bit of, as daft as it sounds, a Craig Bellamy. Unless he plays for you, you hate him. I used to hate Craig Bellamy when he played for us. I got it. I got exactly what he was about. He doesn't like losing. He'll stand up. He'll stand up for you. So like if you, shoulder to shoulder, he'll get his foot in. He'll do a stupid tackle to get a yellow card now and again. I don't mind that. I don't mind that because of what he gives us, and it's no coincidence when he doesn't play well, we don't play well, and
yeah, but I think he can take more of a back seat next season when the likes of Reinders and Turkey step forward, and then he could be like if he stays next season, he could be staying on, I suppose, under the conditions that he's going to be a bit part player, but it's what he does in the background.
There's no guarantee that this, I can't pronounce it. The lad at Girona. There's no guarantee he's going to come back.
He's coming back, Andy. He's unreal.
But everybody's. I know it's different positions and stuff. But if you was him, right, and you're thinking, I've been on loan for a season. If I go back to City, do I fancy my chances to get past Gueye, Gvardiol, Diaz, Cushy? It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit difficult there, mate.
Yeah, but you're going to play for one of the top teams in the world, and to be coached by one of the best managers in the world. Like if you were to use that argument, why leave Crystal Palace? We could have stuck around for 6 months and got 30, 40, 50 million in his ass pocket. I don't care what Man City are paying him. He still could have got that off a top club in England or the continent and had 30, 40, 50 million in his ass pocket, but he chose to leave and kind of give that up, concede that fee, that signing on fee. Yes,
but with the greatest respect, Mark Gueye is Premier League proven, experienced over a. By the way, I hope he does come back, and I hope it's a sensation because and again it's the age of him as well.
But have you watched him at Girona?
Mate, with the greatest respect, again, it's La Liga. La Liga's not the Premier League. The Premier League is a beast.
But I know that, and it'll take him 12 to 18 months to get up to speed with the Premier League. But I'm telling you, Andy, he's a young John Stones. He absolutely is. There's no, and trust me on this. Hayes will be back.
How are you watching him at Girona?
My neighbour's Spanish, and his Spanish TV, and I go in there and watch it. What's that? Your season ticket?
No, it's me. It's been to a match, have you? I've still, been to a match, have you? You've done me. I'll hold my hands. I can't believe where Paddy's gone, No idea where he's gone. But it's going to be, I think, do you think it needs a lot of tinkering in the summer? I don't.
Oh, dear God, no. My only fear is James Trafford will he's not going to accept being number 2.
He didn't seem very happy after the match yesterday in his post-match, did he? Do you not see his post-match?
No, I didn't see the post-match, no.
He's to cut long story short, he's basically saying he wasn't expecting to rejoin City and not be number 1. Now, if he's, I get it's a World Cup year. I still think he will go to the World Cup because I still think he's playing enough. I think he's playing enough cup games to warrant him that. And he's not only is he playing enough cup games, and Pep's already said he's going to be playing in the final of the Carabao Cup as well. He said that straight after we beat Newcastle. But I think, mate, if he's unsettled, you've got to get rid because that can cost you goals if he's not fully focused.
Oh, what I will say is, we know Pep's thinking on that, don't we?
What I think he's still young. I get it's a World Cup year, He's not gonna change that whatever he does, apart from putting good performances in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup for us between now and England selecting their squad for the World Cup. He's training every single day with a Ballon d'Or winner. He's training with the world's best goalkeeper.
Yeah, but that's an environmental thing, right? Like he's in around that environment. But when you have a personal desire to be a number one and to be playing week in, week out, it doesn't matter what environment you're in, you're going to leave it to fulfill that desire.
Do you want to, and again, and I know it's not like, it seems like a trademark saying every time I say, I think, but I do genuinely think Donnarumma won't be with us in 2 years' time.
Why not?
Genuinely don't think. His agent is, I'm sure his agent is Pit Radio Rental. His agent come out a couple of weeks ago and said if there was an opportunity for Donnarumma to go back to Italy, he would do. I think the only thing what's preventing him going back to Italy is the cash, what we're paying him versus the cash you get going back to Italy. Now, if his agent's coming out saying stupid things like that, then he's either going to be unsettled or he actually does it. That it's in his mindset that he does want to go back to Italy. Now,
I wouldn't pay any attention. Is that even real?
My fear. Well, if his agent's coming out and say it was in print, you know, he said it. He said it. So my fear would be he's losing James Trafford, and then a season later, for instance, we lose Donnarumma, because that would leave us in a tricky position because we've got the potential of an unbelievable keeper in James Trafford. You know, he's proven it time and time again. But in the defence of Pep, I can't blame Pep or City bringing Donnarumma in, because if that player becomes available, you'd be stupid, and I mean stupid, not especially the price what we paid for him. You'd be stupid not to go in for him.
Yeah, but like, it's all about context, and we said this before on the show. Like, if Kevin De Bruyne wasn't around, would it be like Cole Palmer go? Absolutely not. So look what was in front of him. Look what he had to get through to get in that team. So it made sense.
No. I don't agree, because, and it come out from Pep as well, mate, that when Mahrez left, Pep, and this come from Pep in an interview. Pep turned around to Cole Palmer and said, right, you've got a genuine chance now to make your mark. And Cole Palmer didn't want to. He didn't want to take his chances in case we brought somebody in, going up against somebody, whoever we brought in. He didn't fancy his chances. I think it was Savinho. We brought Savinho in. With the greatest respect, Cole Palmer's 10 times the player that Savinho is. You know, it really is. Would Cole Palmer still be in our team if it had broken? I believe he would be, but I don't think he would be as not flamboyant. That's a more lackadaisy in the way he plays sometimes, because he switches off. But I certainly believe he would have been a better option on the right than Savio. No,
wouldn't necessarily agree with that.
Why?
Because I think Cole Palmer's overhyped.
Regardless whether if he's overhyped or not, or overrated, if you've got a level head on you, and I think if you asked anybody other than City fans, who would you rather have in your team, Savio or Cole Palmer? I think the majority would say Cole Palmer, mate.
Right. Okay. What? Because Palmer scores goals, is it? And he does that stupid celebration.
But to do that stupid celebration, you've got to score goals.
Right.
So, and it's
where does Palmer play for Chelsea? He doesn't play out the wing.
But traditionally, he's a winger.
Right.
That's you're comparing apples to bananas now.
Okay, let's compare wingers for wingers. So-called fucking golden boy of England, English football, Saka, hasn't scored in 14 matches.
And here's a fact for you. Nottingham Forest have had more managers this season than Saka's goal contributions.
Yeah. And yet we tear into Doku and we tear into Savino because we think them two should be like fucking Sterling and Sammy and banging them in week in, week out. We play a different brand of football.
Right. So, and it all comes back to goal scoring. And by the way, good luck to Raheem Sterling as well. Let's go. Feyenoord. Good luck to the lad as well, because you know something, he's another one who was treated badly by a section of City fans.
Yeah,
he was unbelievable for us, Raheem Sterling, and I do genuinely wish him all the best. But that's what my point was going to be. When your Sterling's left, when your Sané's left, when your Mahrez is left, and I tell you what, we're seeing it now on the right since Mahrez left. Mahrez got stick from a certain section of people, right, for being lazy, he never does this, he never does that. Mahrez, his goal scoring contributions for us was brilliant. So all of a sudden, left winger, right winger, since Sterling left, since Mahrez left, we've dried up on goals, and we rely on the likes of Erling Haaland to score all the goals. So all of a sudden, Pep's bringing a Semenyo in, who's a goal-scoring winger. Doku, I genuinely believe there's something in Doku what could make him. And he's looking better when he's coming more inside now.
But do you hear what Pep said about him? He doesn't want. Pep said Doku is not going to score a hell of a lot of goals. He's not. He says he's there to create them, but he says I can't personally. That's the manager saying it. I personally can't see him scoring a hell of a lot of goals, but he's definitely there to create them, and he will do that.
But we still need the goals. So all of a sudden, we've got Cherky, who's chipping in with goals now.
Reinders.
I think Foden's got 10 goal scoring contributions this season. We've got Reinders, quite rightly, who's scoring goals. So all of a sudden, it's clicking in different phases, isn't it? Start of the season, it was only clicking with Haaland scoring unbelievable goals. Now it's clicking where other people, whether it's Foden, Cherky, Reinders, Semenyo scoring goals, Haaland's not. Marmoush and Haaland will eventually come back to the party scoring goals, and I was so happy for Haaland when he scored that goal against Fulham in midweek.
And he was injured when he did it.
Oh, and where was the ball played when he scored it? He ran onto the ball.
Mm.
And that's what I was saying early on in the show, mate. That's where we've got to get. And to be fair to Pep and the battery, because the amount of games we're playing, there's not much time to work on it on the training ground either. So it's more or less match, rest. So this week will be ideal because it's like a full week off. They'll have 2 days. I think they're having 2 days off, to unwind, do whatever they need to do, and then they'll have a couple, 2, 3, 4 days to start working on stuff in training. Because they say good players can play anywhere. They get the ball. No, when you're in systems and formations, that's what wins your games. Not players what are just going sort of like.
Have you listened to the 2 new additions, Semenyo and Guy, right? All the interviews Dave gives, say, in Inside City and stuff like that on YouTube, both of them have said the amount of information that we have to take on board, which we've never been exposed to before, is phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal, the amount of information that you're given. And they're seasoned Premiership footballers,
and
then they're getting overloaded because Pep wants you to play in a particular way, and when you don't play it, you're off.
I just think sometimes we overanalyze stuff as fans, don't we? And we don't look into the actual nuts and bolts of it. And again, not training, I think, is a pertinent point, because how can Pep and his backroom team get over methods when there's no training as such? But again, there's plenty of there's still plenty of games to go as well. So I do think if we get Haaland in them positions, I do think Marmoush, because I think at the moment the forward three has got to be Semenyo, Marmoush, and Haaland. I think that's got to happen.
Would you go with 4-3-3, so?
I think in midfield you can throw a blanket over any of them who you can have a point of, yeah, they deserve to be playing, because I do think Foden deserves to be playing. I do think Cherky, despite what I said earlier, deserves to be playing. Reinders, he chips in with goals. He deserves to be playing.
Yeah, but who's doing the defensive, Andy?
I know, but then you've got Rodri. I think Rodri's starting to look good again. You know, make no mistake about it. He's starting to look good. I think at point in games, you could put Nico in there with him. But then you think, ain't Nori's playing well, so we can put Nico O'Reilly in midfield as well. Because I think Nico O'Reilly in midfield is not. And again, we're seeing the fruits of his position. He's got an engine on him who can go backwards and forwards, even though he's technically between an 8. It's an 8 or a 10 normally. But he's got that engine now, and he's got that experience. He's got his defensive experience now because he's been playing left back. He's multi-versatile now. He can drop back. I think he can play a holding midfielder, attacking midfielder. He's got that flexibility to start playing absolutely anywhere he wants now.
Going back to your early point of the front three that you named, Semenyo, Marmoush, and Haaland, what are you doing with Duckworth when he's fit? Which are you benching him, or are you dropping Marmoush to the bench and putting Durko in the field? What are you doing? Lovely problem to have, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lovely problem to have, and don't forget you've got Savio to come back as well. I think he's almost ready.
But he's not. As much as I love Savinio, and he's very, very young, he's probably the youngest in that team. He's not replacing Semenyo. No way.
See, exactly, Nick. That is exactly my. I don't know about he'll replace him at Madrid, but when his agent was saying he wanted to go, basically he wants to go to somewhere warm, probably. So I want Real Madrid or something like that. But I want him to stick it out as well, mate. Because if we let Trafford go, I think that will be one hell of a mistake. Now, maybe an option would be, because people like Pep and that, they'll know whether Donna Summer's going to go or not. You know, he's not going to come out. Pep's not going to come out and say, yeah, he's going to go in 2 seasons. If there's been conversations, what happened behind the scenes, saying, listen, if an offer comes in for him, he wants to go, regardless whether he's just joined us this season or not, then if we let Trafford go, I think the scenario you would see there is Pep say to Trafford, without telling Trafford that Donna Summer's going, is, I'll let you go, but you're only going out on a season-long loan, because that'll put Pep, because Pep will know then that he will need Trafford to be a number 1 in a season's time.
You want me to tell you something's going to break your heart?
Go on.
I think if City won the Premiership this year, Pep won't be there next year.
Pep's got enough in the bank to leave us whenever he wants.
He won't do it from a personal point of view, and I understand, as you know, I understand human psychology. He's not going to walk away from the Premiership a loser as such. He's not going to say, oh, because Arsenal came good or Liverpool came good and he backed out. Because Liverpool won it last year, and then if Arsenal won it this year, I can guarantee you Pep will be there next year. But if Man City really do the unthinkable and hammer the bottle jobs and won that league this year, Pep might go out in a high.
I think you're right. I do actually think you're right on that. And again, I think you're right on, if we don't win the Premier League, he will. I think it'll irk him, and he won't want to leave. But what happens if he stays next season, and we don't win the Premier League next season?
Well, at least he's won it this year.
No. If we don't win the Premier League this season, and Pep stays next season, and we don't win the Premier, and that's his last contractual year, and we don't win it next season. Come on, Guru.
Well, in my mind, next year, when that team is all together and playing the way Pep wants them to play, I think they'll destroy the Premiership next year.
And I tell you, either way, joking aside, either way, what happens with Pep? Now, when Taggart Baconface left United, he left them in an absolute shit show.
Yeah.
You know, with the players. Look at what Pep's already, whether Pep's going to be the manager next season after, whatever, Pep is already building for that future anyway. We are in, and I don't think anybody expected City to be challenging 4 points behind Arsenal this season. I think before a ball was kicked, we all thought it's going to potentially be Liverpool winning the league, Arsenal second, standard, City third or fourth because of where we are. Yeah. And I think because I predicted we'd
Did you get fucking Alzheimer's from these years disease or what?
I know I predicted 10 points. I'm saying on people. I did expect us to absolutely romp it this season. However, I might have been drinking when I said it, but nice. I think anybody sensibly minded wouldn't have thought that we was going to be challenging 4 points. And we've not had a brilliant season, mate. And everybody talks about Arsenal who are having a great season. Look at this. Look at them.
No, we're not.
Or City have not had the best of seasons, and we've not. We're 4 points behind them. We're 4 points behind the bridesmaids, mate.
Arsenal are the best of a very bad lot, and don't think that Premiership, quality-wise, is good this season or last season when Liverpool won it. It's like, do you think Arsenal would have lived with City and Liverpool in their prime? No. I hope they wouldn't have been 20 points behind us.
Oh, I don't know about that, FIFA. I don't. Listen, it's something we'll never know. It's something we'll never know whether Palmer would have, Savo would have cleared Palmer. We're not going to know that. But again, are we going to win the league, Paddy?
I think we've a big chance.
Brentford should have put them to the sword the other night. I know they didn't, but one thing I will say, and I'll give respect to Brentford about, they went for Arsenal the other night.
Yeah. I know they have the tag name of set piece and OGFC. Like, you take set pieces away and their OGs away, we're all in the league.
But again, that's like saying if my auntie had bollocks, it'd be my uncle.
But mate. I know, but I'm talking about open, expansive, scoring goals from free play. They don't do it. Who was it, the team? I forget now who did it. When Arsenal had the corner, the 3 players or 4 players ran up the pitch and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was. Who was it even? Forget who they played now. Yeah, and
because
was it Chelsea in the cup? It was Chelsea in the cup.
Actually, it was. Yeah, it was your man named Rossner, whatever you call him.
Yeah,
nobody's ever done that to Arsenal.
No. Cheers, Martin. You absolute lunatic. Appreciate it.
You could see it caused absolute pandemonium in so-called fucking set piece FC. They didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Here's one as well. Stevie's got a good point. Do you think Rodri will be banned after what he come out and said?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's definitely facing a 3-game ban.
I think he's just going to get fined.
No, Andy. What he says was wrong.
What?
What he says was wrong.
Was it bollocks wrong what he said? He was just pointing out what we all say, that the referees and officials, VAR, they're all corrupt.
Right. Go ahead and call your boss a wanker. See how you get on tomorrow morning.
I got suspended last time I did that, mate. So you're probably right.
No, he's kidding. But you know what? They took their time with it, didn't they? Because they could have been missing for the Salford game and they could have been missing for lesser matches. but they took their time for it. Like, listen to Pep. Pep absolutely hates them. He detests them. You can see it in his press conference. The snide comments against reporters, "Oh, you weren't here, or you were over at United. You're a Liverpool fan, aren't you? Or you support Arsenal, don't you?" Pep is really giving it to them. Like, he's absolutely sick to the back teeth because Pep can see it. Like, I'd love to have an unrecorded conversation with Pep.
Do you want to know what struck me at Pep's last press conference? Do you want to know what struck me the most? What an absolutely beautiful shirt he had on. It's really nice, that.
No, it wouldn't do it for me, like.
You're a t-shirt man, aren't you? Yeah, I agree with Matt now. As long as it's not Maresca, I don't get the way the press are running away with Mascara.
Do you know what? I think that's already been decided.
What, with Maresca?
No, not with Maresca, but with Pep's replacement. And I think Pep has had a hand in that process.
Yeah, again, agree with Nick there. But would you say 4 points? It is madness. They've got we're not guaranteed to beat them at the Etihad, but we've got one unbelievable chance to. I don't think Arsenal will win all the games between now and the end of the season, and we certainly won't. I think when it starts getting, because don't forget they're in cup competitions as well. They're still in the 4 like we are, and by the way, we're still in contention to win 4 trophies. How crazy is that, considering the season we were having? But we shouldn't be anywhere near Arsenal, but we are.
We haven't entered what Baconfish used to call squeaky bum time. We're away from that yet.
The difference is this. But the difference this time, though, Paddy, is we've got players in there in our squad what knows what it takes to win a league. We've also got a lot in there now because of our transition who don't know what it's like to win a league. So that's where you rely on your pros who have done it, like your Bernardos, your Diaz's, your Gvardiols, your Haalands, etc., your Rodris. Because if you've got more in there, because don't forget the likes of Nico O'Reilly, although I know he's not won the league with us, but he's been around the club, to know what it's like and the way he's played. Forget Rico Lewis, because although he knows and he's won treble, he's won Premier League trophies and that with us. It's not the same for Rico, really, because Rico's not playing. Now, Nico O'Reilly's playing regular for us and playing bloody well regular for us. So he will know what it takes to get over the finishing line.
And that's the difference between us and Arsenal. Arsenal don't know what it's like.
James Trafford's not got the experience, but he was around the club when we'd won trophies. We've got Donna Summer, who's not only a Ballon d'Or winner, he knows what it's like. It's like to win the big games like the Champions League and their league. So although we've got players who have not won the Premier League, we've got big players who know how to win trophies. And I think that could be a deciding factor when you're on the home straight. I think
if Arsenal have another, like if you look at, say, Declan Rice coming off that pitch there about 3, 4, 5 weeks ago when they had the chance to go ahead of us, he was losing the marbles coming off the pitch, talking to himself. Like, you didn't have to be a translator to see what he was saying, and that was a month ago, we'll say. And then they got tore his shreds against Brentford. They were damn lucky against Brentford.
Declan Rice is looking very, very jaded to me. They didn't start Odegaard against Brentford.
Yeah, I think he's spent more time with splinters than he's actually is on the pitch. I'm telling you, Andy, we're for a team in transition and a team that's rebuilding and a very young team. We're probably the youngest team in the Premiership. We shouldn't be where we are, but yet we're 4 points behind, and Arsenal can feel us breathing on them. And I'm telling you, I feel like doing a Kevin Keegan.
I forget the camera's mirrored in it, so it's like I don't. But and that's what I'm saying. We're coming into that squeaky bum time now. One thing we have got as well, we've got players coming back. All of a sudden, we're seeing players on the bench. I know Gvardiol's not going to make it because I think he would have been massive for us in the running. We've got players there who are, especially like we've got confidence now in Cushy, so we don't have to burn Diaz out. We've got Mark Gahey, and again, he's a winner. He's won the FA Cup. He's won against us. He's won the. I know it might not seem much, but he's won the Community Shield at Wembley in a big game against Liverpool. So all of a sudden, we don't have to rush some of these players back.
And he's been fighting relegation battles, so he knows what it's like to be under pressure.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's been brilliant since he joined us. I know he's only played a few games, but you can tell straight away the mentality he's got.
Oh, Mark Gahey's a great player. Jesus Christ. Liverpool was sick to the back teeth. He didn't get him.
Yeah, and why was the absolute bellends booing him? You know, at the end of the day, it wasn't his fault that he didn't go to Liverpool. It wasn't his fault.
It's like booing a girl who wouldn't go out with you.
Boo. We get it.
Rejected.
I was listening to a podcast with it was Franny Jeffers, who's the assistant manager for Macclesfield, and he said after the Macclesfield match, in the tunnel, Mark Gahey and that Glasner, the Palace manager, were going at it. For me, that's not disrespecting manager. That's actually challenging your manager because you're a winner. So I don't think it was any coincidence that he joined us, you know, and he didn't see out his contract at Palace because, like he says, and by the way, Mark Gahey, if you're watching this, that brand of food, what you're involved with, that simmer, it needs more flavour because it's bland as shit, mate. That's just on a side.
Stop eating processed shite and eat properly.
No, it's not. It's all weighed. It's proper fingy food, mate. It's all fresh. What comes? It's all fresh. What comes?
What comes? Is it? Comes in the fucking packet.
Listen, since I had Legionnaire's disease, mate, I've been a grown up. I've been eating some veg.
How do you pack it?
I'm 25 years of age now, and it's the first time I've ever ate veg since I nearly died.
You're closer to 25 stone. Your age.
Hey, have I lost weight though? I've only got 4 chins now. Getting better, mate. Getting better. Paddy, we've been done past 6-7 games by ref VAR. That's why players speak out. Totally agree, Nick.
Absolutely, Nick, and I get that.
The human
100%.
being. And by the way, I thought he was pretty diplomatic because he says, I'm not calling them cheats. I just want them to be fair. I think that's fair game.
No, he actually says they're not neutral.
But are they neutral?
Actually, fuck.
Well, why is Paddy from Cork allowed to say it and Rodders isn't?
Because Paddy's not on 500 grand a week playing for one of the greatest football clubs in the world. He's here on Sunday night talking to you.
I know you're on more. You're on more, aren't you? We know that. But I don't think he said anything wrong, and I do think he will get a fine rather than a ban. But
he'd be banned for 3 matches, guaranteed, because they want the bottom jobs. They won the league, but the only issue they have, it won't hurt us as much because we have Nico Gonzalez, but he is getting banned.
You stole me thunder then. I was just going to say, worst case scenario, he does get a ban. I think we can absorb it a little bit better than we could have done. Because, again, you can put Nico O'Reilly in there. We've got Nico Gonzalez who we can put in there. We've got the options to do that. But I'd much rather go into games with Rodri playing. Because, as I said earlier, I think he's starting to get more Rodri-like now. I think he's getting his fitness back. He's starting to spray them balls. He's sitting back a lot more now to cover the centre backs, and he's dictating play how he used to for us. So he's only going to get stronger and stronger.
That's the thing, actually, when you say about the absorption, Andy. I don't think there's a position in that park that we can't absorb something missing. and that's a sign of the strength in the team. Like, look who's out. Guardiola's out. Savinio is out. We've absorbed all of that. Donnarumma gets injured. James Trafford is coming in.
That's a good thing we've got. Teal's got a good point, and I've actually thought about this privately. If Pep is going to go next season, not this season, say not this season, next season, but Luis Enrique is available, do you think Pep himself would say to the board, listen, if you've got a chance of because they're mates as well, aren't they, Enrique? I don't mean glazy ass. I think Pep is the kind of person who'd go to his bosses and go, I'm going to go next season anyway. Luis Enrique is available. I spoke to him. He'd be up for coming. Pep stands down and Enrique comes in. I think that's a conversation what could happen. Or am I talking bubble?
I wouldn't mind that. But I do think Pep will be involved in who's going to proceed on me.
What, like Fergie was when he left? No, thank you. Oh, God. Yeah, I'd love Pep. I think it'd be more acceptable. It's like what Nick says there. I'd love Pep to stay for 10 years. But if he goes, he'd love Enrique. He'll be your hero, baby. But I wouldn't be adverse to that.
No, I wouldn't mind that myself.
I'd love Pep to stay I'd love Pep to stay forever. Again, he's earned that right to leave our club whenever Pep wants to leave that club, whether it's this season, next season, or in another 10 seasons. But one day he's going to go, and one day these people on social media who say, "Oh, Pep's time's up, he needs to go," they're going to be disappointed, because if you sit back and you reflect what we've won under Pep, that will never, and I will die on this hill. We won't ever see anything like that
we
again.
should do actually is a little
in English
experiment.
football. In English football, we'll never see that ever again.
And you've said it again there now about on your social media about Pep, fellas saying Pep should go and all this kind of carry on. Do you know what we should do as a little experiment? So you see all this stuff you're seeing online. I don't see it, right? Because I don't follow dickheads. But anyway, I think we should do. Well, you're very close to getting banned, actually, with your nonsense. But anyway,
in my defence, I've got more agitated on X over the past few weeks when I've been housebound.
I think a little experiment for 3 days minimum. We should swap Twitter feeds, and you log into mine and I'll log into yours, and I can guarantee you when you come back, yours will be a good few thousand later.
I might take you up on that,
because you'll find mine's quite boring.
But the thing is with X, I asked for advice of people how to filter words out so you don't see them. And one of the words I put in my filter, what you don't see, is Arsenal. I'm still seeing the word Arsenal coming up. I tell you what, I have been boiling. To be fair, I've been boiling piss over the past week or so.
3 strikes.
Well, apart from some knobhead who said he hopes I get cancer. I don't think that's very nice. So he got it. I don't listen. It's not real life. It's times like this when you've got real people in the chat, when we're having a good laugh, putting the world to rights, talking about the club what we all love, and it's always level-headed as well.
Sometimes.
That's what I'm saying, Nick. I think because they are close mates as well, and I think Enrique will have a year out as well because I don't know whether people know Enrique lost. Was it his daughter? His child passed away. So I think the natural thing for him to do is take time out and reflect on not football but life itself. Now maybe if he takes a year out and Pep does another year with us, but I certainly don't want Mascara. I just think that would be wrong on every level if we got him. No, I'd be all right for Vinny to come back. But Pep, Mascara, no chance.
Do you know what? I think that's a crazy romantic notion about Vinny.
His name's not even being mentioned, is it? It just seems mascara all the time.
There's a reason. How he went from Burnley to Bayern Munich is beyond me.
He's done well though, because he's.
Andy, you would do well Bayern Munich.
Not necessarily, mate. Not necessarily.
Come on. He's at the biggest team in Germany and he has Harry Kane. I'd won the league with Bayern Munich if I was in charge.
It's not as easy. Are you playing Football Manager there? Are you playing FIFA 26 or something?
Hold on. What did he do with Burnley? He got them relegated and he wouldn't change his style of football. And he thought so much of Greg Bellamy that he didn't take him to Bayern Munich. I know Bellamy ended up getting the Wales job, but he didn't take him. And he wouldn't change his style of play. The thing
with Bellamy, it wasn't just the Wales job. He actually was very unwell himself, wasn't he, Bellamy? With mental health issues. Yeah. And that's when because he went to Belgium with Vinny. I think there was shades of homesick and stuff like that with him. I think that's the reason why he wanted to go. But he deserved to get the Wales job anyway. No two ways about that. But I think that's the reason why Vinny didn't pursue taking him because he wasn't well. But Vinny,
I know what Vinny has done for us. Player, unbelievable. But it would not fill me with joy to see Vincent Kompany in the sideline managing Man City.
Okay, then if you're recruiting for a manager, what's the criteria that you look for?
Well, it's a combination of stuff, isn't it? It's not, I want a defensive coach, or I want an offensive coach, or I want this. I want a mixed bag. And I say that about Pep as well. I want to go back to, say, the days of Sterling and Sani, but he open counter-attactive, fast football instead of this side-to-side.
No, if you're looking for a manager now, if you're looking not what's gone, if you're recruiting now, right? If I'm a manager, I'm recruiting for a manager. First thing I look, it'd be totally the opposite with what you said. He should be managing well at Bayern Munich. He's got all the best players. How many managers fail at big clubs, regardless of what players they've got? You've got to go in there. You've got to have a big pair of them to upset a few egos. Not just upset a few egos, actually work with some of them egos, get them egos playing for you. Because how many times do you hear, like the Real Madrids, etc., where the players, if they want a manager out, they'll get the manager out. Now, the best way to do that is be a good man manager. And what Vinny's done at Bayern Munich, because don't get me wrong, I had reservations about it at Burnley. I'm thinking, no. But to go to Bayern Munich, so a huge club, what Bayern Munich are, not only to get them winning the league, but the way they play in, getting the likes of Harry Kane scoring the unbelievable amount of goals, what he scored, Harry Kane, you're working with big egos there. So I'd be thinking, that's the kind of person I'd be looking for. Somebody who can go into a club, succeeding, but people are looking at Maresca. What's he done apart from winning a league with Leicester? I know that's an achievement in itself, and he wasn't really going to get a chance at Chelsea anyway, to the way Chelsea are as a football club. Now, if Maresca gets a job quick, nobody's come knocking on the door, have they? For him, as far as we know, since he's left Chelsea. Is there a reason for that? Is he saying no because I'm going to City next season, and I'm taking time out now, or is it something different? Because
the Spurs job is available, the Nottingham Forest job is available. He didn't go to either of them places.
But are we doing him a disservice and judging him on Chelsea? Because let's not forget, he did win trophies with Chelsea. Mm. But it's do
you know who squared that square for you? Pep. Because Pep
I think you're right. I think
he has it or he doesn't have it.
I think you're right. I think Pep will have a deciding factor who will replace him. But at the time, it was Maresca, and all of a sudden, there's going to be some availability there for Luis Enrique. Now, regardless what Pep says to his bosses, if you're his boss, if you was Khaldoon or whoever does the recruiting process for a manager, and Pep says Maresca, I'd be saying, what about Enrique? He's available. Who would you or you could persuade Vinny to? I think Vinny's destined to come back. I do think he's. Will it be straight after Pep?
No,
I don't know. But I think if Maresca comes in, I don't think the fans would take to that as well.
Well, he's a Chelsea reject.
I wouldn't call in theory he's a reject. But I think that's a bit unfair because Chelsea's a bit of a circus anyway, isn't it? A bit like your Forest and so. Yeah. Was he on a hiding to nothing with Chelsea? Is he not getting the respect what he deserves? Me now, I'm saying now I won't like Maresca to be the next City.
But okay, like that. Okay, you're on about brand of football and what you expect the manager and stuff like that. Maresca's style of football or Enrique's?
But then you can say.
I'm actually surprised you're thinking about that.
No, it'd be Enrique's every single day of the week, because that's more like the Pep way. And let's not forget, Pep and Enrique was team, formidable in midfield, in the day for Barca. So it seems like he's got the same methods and mentality as Pep. So if it's Maresca, and I also think as well, when Pep does decide to go, whether it's this season, next season, in 10 seasons' time, it will be announced our next manager before Pep actually physically leaves.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
No, a bit like when it was announced that Pep was coming in while Pellegrini was still our boss, because from word on the street, our owners said, listen, contract's not going to be renewed because Pep's going to be coming in.
They did a bad job there, Andy, in fairness. They did.
Who's City?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. Well, we've got a track record, haven't we? We had Mancini in the stands when we got rid of Hughes. Not that I wanted Hughes to stay, but we've got this little bit of a City-itis where, and we're seeing it now with what City is doing with the bad publicity on the with the fans and stuff like that. We have got that in us, but I think if you
that Stuart I had beside me on Wednesday night in the Fulham match, fuck, he was definitely on something.
He'd have to be near you though.
But Andy, he was looking for trouble. Like he was really looking for trouble.
And we're seeing it more and more now. And you know my thoughts why I've walked away from City, and I won't go back under any circumstances. I've still got my 2 season tickets. My lad has them, and when my lad can't go, they get used. But I think there's a lot more trouble to come regarding stuff like we've seen. We're seeing it more now, the bad publicity, what they're getting and stuff like that, and rightly so as well. Yeah. As Nick says, he won 2 trophies last year. Now, and that's what I say. Are we judging him on not performing for Chelsea? I think possibly. I think if you asked 100 City fans who they want, Maresca, Luis Enrique, or Vinny Company, I think Maresca would be third in that. Steve, if Vinny needs a few more years, I don't think he does. And again, he's destined to come back because his kids are Mancunian. Carla, his missus, Mancunian. He is destined to come back at some point, Vinny. Now, whether it is with us or into the Premier League, I don't know. I think he'd only come back to the Premier League if it was the City job.
Yeah.
Because why would you leave Bayern Munich to go to Chelsea, where the chances are you're going to get sacked in a few months, or go to Forest where you're going to get sacked in a few days, or wherever. Yeah, or Spurs. And again, we need to appreciate sometimes. Forget the negative stuff. I think we need to appreciate that when you've got a manager who runs the club, like he's a manager, not a head coach. you see the rewards, because there's some clubs now what are just circuses, isn't there?
There's another thing actually that we missed out on. I think Spurs are after doing us a solid. I think they're after doing us a right favour, because that new manager is going to be in place for London Derby on the 22nd, is it? After we play Newcastle on Saturday night. Imagine now we beat Newcastle on the Saturday night and it's down to 1 point, and they've the North London Derby the following day with a new manager.
They slaughtered them in the last. Is it at the Spurs stadium?
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, I've said we're not going to win every match.
Imagine after damage.
But they're already starting to see the pressure and feel the pressure a little bit. You can see it in Arteta, you can see it in Declan Rice, you can see it with them players. What was massive as well is that Brentford keeper, Kelleher, making that save late on, where he got his hand to it from Martinelli, wasn't it? That was sort of like Ortega-esque from Son when we won the league.
Mm.
And, there's fine margins in everything. If they'd have gone on to win that, regardless of us beating Liverpool, their tails would have been up with that. But all of a sudden, and they could have lost it after that as well.
I'm telling you, the course of that league could change next weekend, big time. I'm telling you can bookmark this. We beat Newcastle next Saturday night, and they draw or lose against Spurs the following day. The league's ours. The league is ours.
We could win it by 10 points. Imagine if we won it by 10 points.
I'd actually fucking unfriend you because I couldn't listen to you.
Yeah, I know it is. It's a sad state of affairs, Nick. You know my thoughts. I'm very, very, very vocal on social media about, and I always say I'll always love my team, but I hate my club, and there is a difference in that, isn't there?
It's
well, Patrick, we've got through an hour and 21 minutes on our little test night with this temporary stream. What we've put up at short notice, we've done well, my friend.
We have.
We've had a laugh. We've put the world to rights.
IT's been nice.
Yeah, it's good to get the cobwebs aired, isn't it?
Right.
Get back.
What's the score against Newcastle?
Oh, any victory will do, mate.
You're as yellow as the wall behind me.
And at the side of me. But you know me, and again, people might think I'm mad, but and you know this, I always bet against City winning. It's sort of like reverse psychology. I lose a fortune, when they win. But I don't mind losing money as long as City win. So come on, I'll put it on. I'll put it on paper. I'll let you go first.
I'm going easy peasy 3-0 to us.
And you will be there, my friend, won't you?
Be in my usual spot in the East Stand amongst proper fans.
Yeah. So why don't you like the Colin Bell?
Because there's more crack in the library.
They had a great.
Do you know the ideal night for me would be 1-3-0 and Silva, they put Gordon in the Rose Ed.
Isn't it funny? He went off with a hamstring, and then he against us when he's getting beaten, and his hamstring miraculously was okay the game after. I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think. This. I'm going to go for 12-0. 12-0. No, 3-1.
To who?
Sound like an owl there. To City. But me bets won't say that.
And I don't care if Colo Torre scores as long as we beat them.
No, I'm going to be positive. I'm going 3-1 City.
I'm telling you, Andy, mark these words. If we beat Newcastle on Saturday night and they're getting that North London derby,
they've got to go to Middlesbrough yet, and I'd love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. He was 75 the other day.
Steve is saying 2-0. DC saying 2-1. Nick saying 2-1, sir. They'll be. Yeah, I think they will be as well, mate, because they played very well, and even though they won, they still got robbed a little bit. Get the feather duster out, Andy. Why?
For your head.
Oh, for me, I know my hair's growing in it. It's the last time I cut my hair, believe it or not, was the 20th of January before I went away. Governor saying 4-1 City.
That's more like a governor. I'm in governor's camp.
Kathy with suspenders. I don't.
That's wrong, show.
Some prediction that. Marmouche loves Newcastle.
Watched his hat-trick the other day.
Oh, Kathy's going 3-1, same as me, that Kathy. Andy for the cobwebs. Yeah.
Top of your head.
I know. Look. I know. I'll have an haircut for next week. Promise you. Right, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Sorry that I've not been able to get on here because I've been dying and stuff like that. You know.
It's very inconsiderate of you.
I know. But I didn't leave you. You've been here on your own, wouldn't you?
You going to Wembley?
No.
Why not?
Nothing to do with you. Are you going?
Of course I am.
Have you got your ticket? Oh, are you going to give somebody a backhander? I won't mention the person's name.
That person's name is very good. They also got 48 tickets.
Yes. Bit nuts, that person, isn't it? Yes. No, I'm not going, mate. Got better things to do. I'll watch it. Listen, guys, as always, thank you very much for joining us in the chat. Always a pleasure. Never a chore, is it, my friend?
And we'll be back next week with a proper stream, but Andy gets his shit together and doesn't leave it the last thing.
Yes. We will be back with our normal do-dat for next week.
And you won't hear me say Mamouche next week.
You're lucky, aren't you? Thanks for joining us, guys. We will do it all again next week. Won't we, Patrick? Have a great week, all, whatever you're doing.
We're going to be 1 point behind Arsenal next week.
Come on, City.